because I think a lot of fans have made their mind up about Mikel Arteta. That's completely fine. Everyone has their opinion about it, and I'm sort of at the end of my tether myself. But what would he have to do to change the majority of fans behind? I guess it's just win football matches, but I guess it's more than just winning. Luckily, 1-0.
Yeah, I don't think wins are it, and like obviously wins are everything in football, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get people to change their minds on him. Simply because even if we win every single game 1-0, the opinions that you have about him as a coach and your opinions about him as an attack-minded coach don't change. And fair enough, we have kind of, some of us grew up on 1-0 to the Arsenal. Some of us are familiar going back in history, 1-0 to the Arsenal. But we, as a club and football in general, has completely moved on from that. And while we appreciate hard, gritty 1-0 wins as and when they come, every game shouldn't be like every game shouldn't be stressful. And every game right now is stressful. Like, we have quality to make a lot more of these games more comfortable than we're making them at the minute, if that makes sense. And a lot of that comes down to a lack of attacking threat and a lack of not even attacking ability, just attack-minded coaching. So if this next stint, so if against, I'm going to include Leeds as well, because it's a trophy that I want to win. If we go Villa, so it's Villa, Leeds, Leicester, Watford.
Is it Watford? Oh yeah, it is Watford.
Yeah, before, and then I think there's another international break, and then we've got Liverpool.
I actually think, yeah.
Is there not an international break?
No, you are right, but I don't know if it's before Watford or after Watford. So
okay, I was pretty sure it was after Watford, because maybe I've just been thinking about it in league stints of 4. But anyway, if you can get through those 4 games, and you can get this team to show an attacking level similar to what we saw against Spurs, you'll start to see some people warming to this process or warming to this idea of what Mikel Arteta is trying to buy, because we would then see some consistent level of attacking performance. The problem is right now, we're going off of nearly 2 years worth of managerial performances. And I'll ask you, how many attacking performances, and I'm not going to include Europa League games, especially group stage games. You can knockout ones you can have, but group stage games, that's just fodder. Like, if we're not looking good with 10 strikers on the pitch, then we'll never look good. But how many all-round attacking performances can you say, we looked good. We looked like we created a lot of chances. We played some nice football, and we may not have been clinical, but the attacking performance was good. Because I think, in my mind, I can think of 5 or 6.
So if I was to name them, the Spurs game this season, I'm not going to count.
I know you just started, but would you count Spurs as a game? Because Spurs was a first half. The second half, we weren't very good attacking wise.
Yeah, but I guess the football was good, right? The attack, like, it wasn't like, you know how we play these games at the moment, and we just have like, we start very well for like 10 minutes and then we completely drop off for the rest of the game. Like, that Spurs game was completely different. Like, we dominated them for 45 minutes. I know the second half was a bit more of a control what you have sort of thing, but we dominated that game attacking wise. So I would class it as a good attacking performance, because it was like that Man United game where we won 3-0 against them in the first half. It's just like we blitzed them in so many minutes, and
okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So under Wenger, so I would count that. And then I'm not counting the West Brom game from this season, because we played that under 12. So, that doesn't count. And then after that, I guess there was the Leeds game last season at home, but which Aubameyang scored a hat trick, which was quite a good game, even though And to be fair, we were comfortable, and then Leeds came back in that game. So I think they scored 2 goals. I think it was 4-2 or something. The game.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the Wolves away game, the infamous David Luiz touches his ship. Like
that's one of my 5 as well. Yeah,
that attacking performance was really good, and it was a shame that it got ruined by a dodgy referee, who's the referee on Friday, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
which looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then I guess the Slavia Prague away game in the Europa League, which was quite good.
West Brom obviously away last year.
West Brom away, which was great. And maybe, I don't know why, but maybe the Southampton away game last year as well, I thought was quite good.
See, the other one that I thought we had a really good attacking performance against Leicester away last year.
I sort of remember it being I thought we controlled that game, but I don't think it was like swashbuckling attacking football. But then again, I guess I'm being picky because I've included a Southampton game. And
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so but like we've just named like that's 2 years of Arteta football. I guess you could say. Do you remember?
He's coming up. I think he's coming up to about 100. He's coming up to 100 games in charge soon, I think.
Yeah, he must be because
there's you can argue about exacts. I've said 5. There's not more than 10. There's one from the first season. I thought attack-wise, we played well in his first season against Bournemouth in the FA Cup. I thought that was a good attacking performance where I think Saka and Martinelli both scored. And that was with Saka at left back, I believe. Or maybe it was Nketiah that scored, but I know the youngsters all played.
And Nketiah scored, yeah.
There was a 4-0 against Newcastle in his first season, and we had a good attacking performance there.
Ozil's last goal.
Well, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then last season as well, we had a good attacking performance against Sheffield United, where Martinelli scored. That was a pretty good attacking performance.
That was a good attacking performance, but I mean, I was going to say Sheffield United were awful, but I mean, to be honest, like those are the games we should be winning, and like we need to win more often. So I'm not really like people will say, "Oh, well, it's a rubbish side." Well, you know, if you win all the games you should be winning, Arsenal will do well this season. So and I
think I'd hear the argument for Fulham away last year as well.
Oh yeah, even though I guess this is more of an argument about modern football in general, because I think we both agreed. I think modern football now, and I can't believe we've gone on this much of a tangent, but like modern football in general, I think is very robotic. It's not very like it's not very freestyle. Like that is the word, isn't it? There's no freestyle to it. And I think the only team that really play freestyle football is Manchester United. And even Manchester United don't look good because they look tactically inept. So it's just so to the 10th degree, like being like so tactical. And it's just like, I miss old football basically, and that's probably just because I'm getting older and nostalgia clouds your judgment, and also because Arsenal are not very good. If Arsenal were as good as Manchester City, then I'm sure I would love the football and say, oh well, that old football that we played, that Wenger ball in 2014 was rubbish. So
I think there's an element about football now that we as fans, I guess, enjoy the chaos of football.
Yeah,
it's why we celebrated so massively at the end of the Crystal Palace game of the equalizer. It ended chaotically, and sometimes, like when you're watching some games, the chaos means that sometimes you go long and you just punt it into the box, and a second ball drops and you score the winner. Like right now, there's not as much chaos in football, and funnily enough, I know you've just mentioned Manchester United. I personally think, and I don't rate Ole as a coach. I don't particularly rate Mikel Arteta as a coach, as a head coach. I rate him as an individual coach. He can absolutely improve individuals, and defensively he's fantastic as a head coach. No. But if you put Arteta in charge of Manchester United and you put Ole in charge of us, I think both teams would be doing better.
To the centre. Schuker is there. Can't get his cross in. Maybe Dixon